When do we depart?
Okay, that's good. He can't say yes to that.
Tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening?
Yes. You will need to provide the captain with the geyser shell pearls.
Okay, you see, there's a small problem there. We don't have those, and I have no idea what they are.
You may have to fight the denizens of the water for their share.
Oh, so someone already has these.
I don't like the sound of that.
All right, new plan. We get 5 to 6 pearls, sell them off, and then go and take the longer route. I think it ate my foot.
I don't want to have to kill these things, but if they do any more damage, they're gonna all have to die.
Welcome back, Foundlings, to another episode of the Gage Chronicles. This is Chronicle 1, Chapter 65. I do have a title for this one. I was thinking of calling it A Mighty Squeakening, because I thought that was really cute. Anyway, so my name is Emily. I am your game master, host, writer of this series, and troubadour? Troubadour? I don't even know what that is anymore. Really awkward. Anyway, I am joined at my table today by my 2 only players. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Quentin Ott, and today I'll be playing
Salrak, the entity of unknown age and origin, currently awakened after lying dormant in this vestige for far too long.
And I'm the other player, Jaden, who plays Finavir Avir, the fearless merchant. With a fervor for fair trade, he forges friendships and cherishes family. Fueled by a fiery spirit, Finavir fearlessly fulfills his fateful journey. This alliteration was brought to you by ChatGPT, not sponsored.
Oh, before I forget, thank you to Alex for giving us a rating on Spotify. My players now have increased their relic capacity by 1. They can now carry 4 relics.
without penalty.
Through the power of inspiration and character growth, and also 5-star ratings.
There is a limit, though. I'm going to say like 10 is at most.
Oh, we can carry 10.
You got to give us 5-star rating. I'm going to call everyone and my grandma.
That's the most, or else then we're missing out on the amazing relic table.
There's only so much radiation one body can absorb before it just starts going, nah.
Let's get started. Otter's Holt. What was potentially the most relaxing environment the party ventured to turned out to be surprisingly one of the most dangerous locations, or rather, not so much surprising as it is terrifying, and less so the location itself, but instead its denizens. Fighting tooth and claw, the party faces off against the Stareyes in an attempt to obtain a collection of red geyser shell pearls that they need to secure their passage to Wolf's Lodge. Of course, like the players who refuse to pronounce certain key terms the correct way, we also refuse to refer to stareyes as what they are. Telekinetic, waterbending, otters. So, we pick back up with our heroes who are in dire straits. Their health is low, the stareye avatar has appeared, and a dark being controls Charles Smoot. Let's go from Finavir's perspective. Finavir, as you are standing on top of this cliff above this hot spring area, you see 2 very distinctive figures. One, a giant black mass of some sort of liquid that is flowing around Charles Smoot's body. A large and terrifying creature. And in front of you, almost directly in your line of sight, standing atop this cliff with you, you see a mixture of flowing water and otters swimming around inside of it, all culminating together into what appears to be a giant water otter.
Finavir has hit his limit.
That's a limit?
So Finn has a limit
his
too?
limit of nonsense and just overkill things that are outside of his ability to interact with on a reasonable scale. Benavir is bravely running away.
Didn't you just run away to get up here?
He did.
I did. Well, he did get closer to keep an eye on Smoot just in case he had to, intervene. But, giant, I don't know anything, Voltron Otter. That's what I'll call it.
Okay.
Is it his turn?
I'm going to say because we've entered into phase 2 of this combat, we're actually going to re-roll our initiative. Gentlemen, please roll your initiatives.
17 for Charles Smoot.
15 for Benavir.
Very powerful initiative.
Man, what the heck happened in this entire lineup of initiatives on my screen?
They all crit fail. Me and Jaden somehow get to go first.
Actually,
What?
No, I'm kidding. We don't see the initiative order yet.
Benavir is at the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, that means I am not far behind.
Sounds about right.
Don't worry, Valen is also at the bottom of the
That
barrel.
sounds bad, because it sounds like the giant mecha otter gets to go first.
Incorrect. Benavir, in the distance, you see Kelsey and Valen are off to your right-hand side. You see that Kelsey is making her way towards where you are. She is, though, keeping as far to the side away from this entity, this dark figure. And you see as she has to wade into some of the deeper water, she slows down a little bit. Jaden, could you roll a d4 for me to determine what action is going to be taken? Because I want Jaden to decide.
Oh,
your
my
fate.
fate. Oh, thank you. Thank you. My brother in Christ. Hit me with it.
2.
I get hit with it. Thank you. Okay. You hit me with a 2.
Well, this otter's also going to be doing some more damage still.
No, please.
Targeting Charles Smoot.
I'd like to pass.
Out?
No, I mean, I might be doing that.
Well, don't worry.
Hopefully I don't fall unconscious.
Charles Smoot, you see nothing. However, Selrak sees, and so does Benavir. You both see as this giant water-like otter begins to almost glow. And you feel the ground begin shaking as one of the large boulders that are surrounding this cliffside lift up above its head, and it tries to smash down at Selrak, missing narrowly as it misjudges this almost liquidous form of Selrak, which sort of sways out of the way.
I was terrified and then immediately hopeful as soon as I heard the verb tries. Very good word choice. Makes me feel a lot better.
But don't worry, Selrak.
No, it has no more turn.
Yes, it does.
That's it, clearly.
Who are you to tell me that it doesn't have any more turn? It has much turn.
Legendary action.
Oh, I swear if that was. Every turn I get to drop a 10 by 10 boulder for free.
You see as this water otter begins literally just flowing over the land. Like it's walking, but the water legs just kind of wash over this sandy beach as it moves down along the shore, slightly away from Selrak, as if it is attempting to gather something.
In what direction did it go?
It would be farther away from you, Benavir, so that would be north of you. So it'd be north and then slightly east down the cliffside. Selrak, it is your turn.
Pursuing this giant otter, taking 2 massive stride actions till he cuts off the otter in its path.
As Selrak steps into this melee range of this otter swarm, essentially, a line of water suddenly shoots out, scalding Selrak. You see as Benavir, you can kind of see just barely this black ooze kind of spray up in the air along with the water for a moment.
Yup. That sounds like a 10-pound bag of nope in a 5-pound bag.
I don't think Selrak's going to be very happy.
Probably not.
No. Selrak takes 23 damage. All of a sudden, Benavir, you see from where you're standing a sudden gush of water and a rise of steam and some black ooze that seems to spray up into the air. And it seems that this giant otter sprayed out a hot geyser, which pounded against Selrak's chest, opening up the black ooze, exposing human skin underneath. This is enough, though, to force Selrak to recede back into Charles Smoot, who is left standing momentarily, stunned at the end of his turn.
He's too angry to die.
No, he's still going to die. These things do minimum 20 damage
You know my
in
biggest...
one action, and they have 3. And I'm right at their feet, stunned.
Well, you know, I had a bit of a problem with the individual otters. I don't know if it still applies.
It can drop a literal boulder on me.
Don't worry. I think Valen's here to save the day, maybe. Maybe. I think he's coming for you, buddy. Valen quickly begins approaching towards you, Charles Smoot. You can kind of hear in the back of your mind a voice calling out to you.
Charles, are you alright?
Charles Smoot, you see a hazy light in front of you, as well as this giant ball of water, which you see otters swimming inside of, directly in front of you as your vision comes more into focus. But then all of a sudden, you see as there seems to be ice forming underneath of it, creating a slick sheet of ice on which it's resting.
I mean, his ice could be so cold that it just freezes the otter solid.
No, it does not freeze the otter solid. However, it does make that area relatively difficult for it to move through.
The otters are moving psychically. They don't need friction and the ground.
It's still a water beast, and it's moving through this terrain. It
I'm
is
like
not.
97% sure that if these wanted to, these otters could just straight up fly, okay? I don't think they are bound by the law.
I never said they could fly,
You didn't say they couldn't.
and I'm
though.
saying they can't fly, Quentin.
Oh, good news.
Write this down.
Write this down. See, this is why we ask stupid questions, is to get more information than what we should be privy to.
Valen just shouts to Finavir, Finn, can you get to him? And Finavir, it is your turn.
He just put ice in his way.
Well, listen, he can jump off the side and try and do like...
You're right. He could run, skid on the ice for 20 feet, and then catapult himself off a 10-foot cliff to dive into boiling water.
No. Benavir has he has practice in his athletics from learning how to run away from responsibilities. So Finavir is going to full sprint, and when he gets to the edge of the ice, he's going to jump as far as he can to try to mitigate the effects on him.
Go ahead and roll an acrobatics to see if you land on your feet.
Hey!
Ew.
Those are numbers.
Those are numbers.
That's a 24.
Oh, what a wonderful number. Jaden, you still have some movement for Finavir. Finavir can clearly observe Charles Smoot standing, looking dazed up at this giant water otter, the Avatar. Can you treat him from a distance with battle medicine, like just throwing the...
Oh, yeah, just give him some encouraging words. Yeah, you know.
So, Jaden, what would Finavir do in this circumstance? He sees his friend just out of reach from where he has jumped.
He came a long way to rejoin with his new family. He's not gonna let it go. He's gonna run up to Smoot's side and, non-actionally be like, "Hey, you! Over here! You, Otter thing!" Starting to understand the weight of his choice. You didn't look this big from afar.
You totally could have used a, "What are you doing?"
Smoot, what are you doing?
You must learn to turn the otter cheek.
Not doing that.
Okay. So Finavir, as you rush past all of this ice, jumping off the side of the cliff, and then rushing past Smoot, hoping that you can distract the opponent. Off in the distance, you hear some other sort of sound.
Probably her cursing because everyone just ran the opposite direction of her.
Run away from Smoot. Finavir, I'll always listen to Kelsey. She's always right. Finavir, I'm coming, Smoot.
Okay, all right, this is how this is gonna go. Thank God she's got a distance spell. I need to roll a save, but I also need you both to roll a will save.
So she's going to kill Charles Smoot instead of the otter. Got it.
No.
We're all dying now.
Will save?
Will save.
Oh, dang.
Oh, both of those numbers are good.
Yeah. Where were those numbers like 5
Right.
minutes ago?
I would love those numbers.
29 for Finn.
And 27 for Charles Smoot.
clinging on the edge of life.
Really not wanting to die. Surprising no one. He is
Okay.
a stubborn old coot.
Even though you both have succeeded, all of a sudden, though, you feel as this wave of calm washes over you. And all of you are taking a -1 status penalty to your attack rolls. Ah, there we are. Nice and calm for everybody. She thought she was helping.
How long does it last for?
Well, that's the great question. That is the
Unlimited
question.
duration? Did she just curse us?
No, it's not an unlimited duration.
That's what the effects that I'm reading says.
It has to be sustained up to 1 minute.
Okay.
But she can turn Smoot into Charles now.
Smoot is very Charles right now.
Everyone, just calm down. Everyone, otters included. And she is going to slowly wade her way onto the shore. The giant avatar otter. I keep wanting to call it the avatar because it makes me think of like when Aang went into avatar mode in the Water Kingdom. It looks around, slightly confused. It looks down at the ice around its water legs. It's waterlogged. It's water-legged. Ah, terrible. It tilts its head back up, looking towards Finavir, who is currently standing there, waving his arms, attempting to get its attention. And it seems that he succeeds. It almost opens its mouth as if to growl at you for some strange reason before it steps forward. And as it does so, you take 7 damage and you are actually pulled into the water body of this otter. You will need to swim on your next turn if you would like to escape it. However, you are currently submerged in water, holding your breath, and you're just like swirling around it as all these otters are swimming around you, biting at you. Charles Smoot, it is your turn.
Recovering from an absolute daze of emotions where he was angry, then injured, then unconscious, then suddenly reconscious, and then no longer angry and very soothed but very injured still. All within like 30 seconds.
So what does sober Smoot think?
Oh, God, that hurts. Oh, jeez. Oh, Finn!
Charles Smoot reaches down into his pack, grabs one of his flasks of red water and downs it. Charles Smoot heals for 26.
Okay, add that to your character. Charles Smoot feeling reinvigorated from drinking this red drink. You see your friend Pinavir currently swirling around the inside of this giant water otter.
What would you have me roll to grab him and pull him out?
Well,
Well, I don't like that. Well,
Charles Smoot,
that's me.
to grab your friend who is currently technically inside of the swarm of otters being pulled around, you would need to succeed on a grapple check.
So in athletics?
Yes, you would need to grab him, and I'm going to say the DC is going to be equal to the swim check it would take to get out. The DC is 22.
Well, just hope I don't roll low, bud. Charles Smoot storms up to Finavir, grabbing him by the collar, and just yanks him out with one hand, setting him down right next to him.
Thanks, but
Maybe it's time we bravely run away. Tactical retreat.
second,
Meanwhile, Finavir has all these little tiny scratches on his face, among everything else.
I'll wait for you. You run first.
no, you need to go. You're injured.
So are you.
Smoot, you're delirious.
We need to get out of here.
No, I'm Charles.
All right. So, Phelan, looking over towards you guys, are you all right?
No, we're injured and there's a psychic otter.
We're alive, yes.
Right. Coming. You say you're bravely running away. Phelan's just like, I guess I'm coming in, boys.
Good, he actually does damage. Because we haven't injured this thing yet at all.
Yes, you have.
When?
You hit. Oh.
No, I didn't hit him.
The
Because so-
individual otters got injured.
Yeah?
Maybe it expends HP when it loses water hitting us?
Yeah, you wish.
No, it did take damage. Valen did damage just now.
Oh, sure. Yeah, a little bit of ice damage.
Wow.
Penance. It tickled him a
Wow.
little.
Fine. All right. Valen feeling that slight against him. Charles, you stop that right now. I don't like that look on your face.
It doesn't look like you did much. You know, like, what have you really contributed?
You see as Valen raises his hand out in front of him, and he seems to cast a shield of ice. And Finavir, you are here. You were saved.
He makes dying look good.
He does make that. He's very flamboyant.
So Finavir, it is your turn. Valen is currently behind you, backing you both up now.
So we run, right?
Yeah, well, at the very least, you do. Let your front line be your front line.
Yeah, I could do a battle medicine on Smoot. Throw some flex tape on that giant gaping wound of
There
yours.
you go.
You can't run like this. And he whips out some medical wrap and ties it extra tight so it hurts around his abdomen.
All right, so treat wounds.
Treat them wounds. Oh, that's true. Wait, what DC you going for?
Ooh,
Go big or go home?
I think I'm going to go for the 20 and use assurance on that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not the time. 7 plus 10. 17.
Okay, I'll add that to
Extra tight.
Charles Smoot is, finds himself being wrapped in bandages around the different parts of his body quickly with Finavir's battle medicine. Finavir, you still have, I believe, another 2 actions, correct?
That sounds like 50 feet of running away around the coastline towards Kelsey.
And Finavir bravely runs away.
See if you find like a clamshell while you're there. I don't know.
All right, Kelsey is making her way back up towards the front. Seeing that Finavir is coming running towards her, she greets you. Hey, Finavir, glad to see you. Is everything okay over there?
Well, Smoot's not that thing anymore. It seems to be a calmer version.
All right, great. I don't have time. Bye.
Yeah, no.
Very accurate.
Very accurate. Wait, where are you going?
Charles, all of a sudden you feel as you are given an enhancement with guidance. You gain +1 status bonus to an attack roll.
So good.
Perception check, saving throw, skill check, etc. Additionally, the effect of the calm goes away as Kelsey is no longer focusing it. The otters look around confused as people are running away and also coming closer to them. They hiss, although it sounds more like steam as it comes out of this giant creature's mouth. It is very strange that it seems to have emotions all its own. It looks at you, Charles. You, who are very close to it.
I am. Just how I like it.
It steps forward, and you see as the water from its body seems to reach out and engulfs you, pulling it inside. And you find yourself being swarmed by a flurry of nips.
Can you pick a different noun?
No. What's wrong with nips? What's wrong with them? You tell me. What dirty thoughts are you
Didn't know
thinking?
we were fighting female otters.
Charles Smoot, you take 5 damage as you are swarmed by these otters inside of its body. But it is your turn now.
Charles Smoot's just gonna swing at the otters
Okay.
while he's in the water.
You are submerged in the water,
Sure.
so go ahead and roll. Just make sure you apply your penalty.
Yeah.
You are also having to hold your breath.
I am good for 8 rounds.
Oh no. Charles?
Accidentally throws his bastard sword? I don't know.
As you take your sword to swing it, you feel as your grip is loosened due to the heat in the water and just the water overall. You can't get a good grip on your sword. It actually falls out from inside of this torrent. You are going to need to make a swim check if you would like to get out to grab it.
Sure.
It
Charles
is
Smoot
outside.
make an athletics check to swim out. 19 for Charles Smoot.
You find yourself being sucked in deeper into the torrent.
You know what? I punch him.
All right.
He's done. He's not having fun. He punches the water. 26.
That would definitely hit. You punch the water. You're really punching an otter in there.
6 damage. I fist an otter.
Oh, you want to complain about nips, huh?
They hit me with the flurry of nips, I'm a fist 'em.
Never say that again yourself. Okay. You punch one of the otters in the face that is within this swarm as it swims by. You see as it recoils in surprise and terror and swims to the top.
I feel like these otters are like very proper like creatures being like psychic and like they're used to being attacked but like not punched, and it just like looks back at me confused and insulted for some reason.
This is all just a game to them. They're not actually trying to kill anybody.
How dare you, sir?
Valen points out his hand once again towards the otter swarm, and you see as a ray of frost shoots out. Valen, no, baby, you can't be doing this.
Yes,
oh,
he can.
no.
Just carry us to victory.
No, he can't be missing, but he did.
Oh, that's bad. He's not carrying us to victory very well.
And once again, you see as he basically is casting out this ray of frost, he also can then cast shield back in front of him. Finavir, it is your turn.
But we just talked about running away.
Finavir could look around and try and find some shells.
Yeah, he is pretty close to what the map seems to be seeing as shells. So he can't. He's supposed to be. Okay, so he's just going to go up to those shells next to him.
It's going to be a survival check in order for you to search through these shells to potentially find a geyser shell pearl.
And remember, we only need 5 of them.
That's a total of 13 for survival. Wait, I got to move up to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 1 move action, 1 survival.
Okay, so he looks there. I'll give you 2 survival checks.
All right, 1 more. Oh, that's looking a little promising.
I was going to say, the 13 certainly does not pass the DC. However,
How about a 22?
a 22 does surpass the DC. You do find what appears to be, from the description, a geyser shell. Now, I can roll a D100 for you to determine the percentage chance, or you could roll it.
Oh, you gotta take fate in your own hands, Jay.
Oh, yeah. It's my turn to roll.
Critical?
Let's hope. Let's go. That's a 54.
With a 54%, you find 1 pearl.
Oh, I'm rich.
I'm richer than you were.
What is this, like 300, 800 silver? Just shoves it into his shirt.
We'll pocket that one. One person can go.
One person can go.
And it is currently now Kelsey's turn. Seeing that Charles has been swallowed up inside of this giant water torrent of an otter, she appears very upset. You get a very quick passing glimpse of her face as you are swirling around in the current, and you swear you make out the words, "Why are you in there? I can't do anything while you're in there." It's a lot of words, but she gets it out at least. Charles Smoot, you receive a word of warning from Kelsey.
Why are you in there? I can't do anything while you're in there.
And you gain a +1 status bonus to your attack rolls, damage rolls, and saves until you use it.
Nice. Oh, be sure to use it.
A flurry of nips continues on the inside.
And I'll just keep fisting it.
You could leave.
I tried! I failed!
You could try again. You were just
Yeah,
shy.
on my turn.
You were just shy.
I was shy?
You take 5 more damage. The otter steps forward again, taking Charles Smoot with it, now enveloping Valen as well.
What does Kelsey think?
Why are you in there? I can't do anything while you're in there. She gives him a word of warning. Another flurry of nips. Valen is going to take whatever the damage is. Oh, Valen. Ouch. Charles Smoot, it is your turn as you are drowning.
Charles Smoot's going to try and step out of the water.
All right, please roll your athletics. It's not a hard roll.
Yeah, no, I just have to not roll a 5, okay? So, a 32 for Charles Smoot's athletics.
Charles Smoot swims out from the water, emerging and landing on the beach, standing up and brushing himself off and shaking off the excess water.
And he's going to pick up his sword, and he's going to hit it with a stick.
So, Charles Smoot, it stepped forward one. Your sword would have had to have landed like here where it steps. So your sword is technically inside of it now.
Well, I need that. Can I grab the sword out of the water?
All right, pod racer style. Use the force.
Your sword is just in there cutting them up as it's swirling
Well, that's
around.
good. That's useful.
You can attempt to grab it.
All right, what would you have me roll?
That's going to be
Reflex?
Yeah, reflex to grab your sword. It'll be a free action.
And not get your hand cut off. 13.
Your sword is just flailing about in there. You could try punching it.
You know what? Fine. Fisting otters is apparently the way it goes.
28 to hit.
It definitely would hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
8 damage.
Charles Smoot walks over, just punching into the water, beating the life out of one of these otters, who then just kind of floats to the top. It doesn't seem to have died, though, because then it just wakes up and then swims around looking very upset.
Well, you said it was a free action to attempt to grab the sword?
Yeah.
Could I grab Balin out?
You are not close enough to where he was pulled in. Yes, I said
okay.
he's...
Yeah, I see. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying. Okay.
But you could punch it again.
You know
It
what?
seems to be actually doing
It
some
seems
damage.
to be doing surprisingly the most that it has been done.
Meanwhile, Kelsey's behind you. Oh, look! You made it out! Now, if only Balin could make his way out.
No, woman. We're not doing this by our choice. We're not choosing to just jump in there.
Honestly, maybe get away from the otter so it stops. It's like the blob. It's just absorbing.
It's a 15 hit.
No.
All right, that's Smoot's entire turn. He's very distracted on the second attack because he's just arguing with Kelsey.
All of a sudden, Charles, as you're standing there, you see as a ray of ice just shoots out the back of the giant water otter. Valen is currently in there just like slapping otters away.
Spare hands?
This water otter's starting to kind of like lose form and shape.
We would just call it the Otter.
So Valen, like, you see as his hand kind of comes out and then it gets pulled right back in.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, Fenivir, bravely over in the corner.
La la la
La, la.
Just picking up seashells on
All
the
right.
beach.
Let's make it over to the more seashells.
Okay. That's
Oh,
one
boy.
movement.
2 survival checks.
Yes.
That's a 19 and an 18.
You do not find any geyser shell pearls over here. You find lots of shards, though, of other shells and clams and rocks. Very pretty rocks. Honestly, these are the nicest rocks you've ever seen. Very smooth.
Yeah, he'll pocket a smooth rock. For that.
You never know when you're going to need one.
It's guy instinct. You see a smooth rock, hey, I might be taking a walk by some water sometime. Might want to skip it.
Right, like right now. I mean, it's a lot of water.
I'm just waiting for the rest of my party to catch up. I'm really good at running away. I have all this extra time running away.
Like, you are the most proficient at running away. All of us are amateurs.
Yeah. Real pro. If there was a skill running away, he'd be expert in it.
Charles, strangely enough, you hear from nearby, Kelsey begins to let out this just singular note as she is humming it. It seems that Kelsey is focusing on the area in front of you as if she is trying to give some sort of enhancement to Valen inside of the otter. Meanwhile, Charles, the otter, looks at you and steps forward. Once again, you are enveloped in this pool of water and a flurry of nips. You will be nipped to death.
What a way to go.
You take 9 damage. Charles Smoot.
I would like to try and get my sword.
All right, you're inside. You see your sword moving around in there. Roll a reflex, it's free.
Shot. A total of 28 for Charles Smoot's reflex.
You grab it. You reach up, and it's kind of like one of those, like, you almost get a really nice pose. If Finavir was painting this, he could have captured an epic pose, but unfortunately, he's gathering seashells.
Yeah, he's not paying any attention whatsoever, actually. And Charles Smoot is now going to attempt to strike with a natural 20, total 35. We're going to deal some mad critical damage with this weapon. Total of 28 damage from Charles Smoot.
Well, this certainly would be a critical, so yeah, beautiful. This is gonna hurt.
Hopefully, right?
Charles Smoot, in an enraged, like just in a humongous state of enragement, just swings, and you cleave completely through this water being. This water comes crashing down. The otters all scatter, swimming into the water, diving deep down, some just running away as far as they can from you.
That's right. You better run.
All right.
Honestly, I'm glad they ran. I felt like they could have probably kept going.
Everyone is going to be getting 140 experience.
Oh, let's
dang.
go.
Oh, that's a good number. I like that number.
And as you guys begin looking around the area, roll a perception check.
I like those as well. 30 for Charles Smoot.
We had 28.
Finavir, you come walking from around the side, holding your singular geyser shell. And as you do, you realize that there is, on the other shore, what appears to be a collection of shells over there. And Charles, you notice this immediately as well.
Everyone, we're all okay, right? Everyone's like almost dead, dying.
Surprise! I mean, honestly, better than I was halfway through. Thanks, everyone. Well, good job at running away, Finn.
Thank you.
You're an expert at it. Honestly, the rest of us are a little kind of slow on the upkeep.
I noticed, but you seem to have some trouble running away.
No, I just mildly. Well, we came here for a mission, and it wasn't to fight psychic otters, and now I know. Honestly, wait, no, like the town, like, honestly idolizes these creatures, and all of, like, the paintings and the earrings and necklaces made me think that these things were going to be way cuter and, like, less ferocious.
Uh-huh.
Bad times. Let's just go grab some seashells.
Charles Smoot will be making his way over to the large stack of seashells.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. This is your reward for defeating the Otter Lord. We are going to roll 1d4, and that will determine how many geyser shell pearls you find here. May luck forever be in your favor.
Who rolls the
Who wants to roll it?
Wait, only one person gets to roll it
Only
before?
one.
But what if we roll it together?
How do we do that?
Hold
We
hands.
hold
Okay,
hands.
and then we get a dice tray, and then I like,
And you just
like here, but between the palms.
ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Two.
Okay. Well, you have 3 now in total. Well,
We need
technically, you only have 2. Yeah, because you have an elk.
Yeah.
All right, so the party has gathered 3 geyser shell pearls.
What is all this rubbish? A bunch of empty clamshells.
I think they're supposed to be rare.
Well, obviously, that's why they're valuable, but how do they expect us to get 5 of these things in one day?
Well, we're supposed to look around, I guess. Also, we have this equipment. Oh yeah, I'm in the suit.
Well, go use it then or something. I don't know. Go faff about in the water.
Oh, fine. I'll just go.
I'm sorry, did you get eaten by a giant psychic water otter today?
She can't hear you. She just like goes under the water for a moment, comes back up.
I have no idea what I'm looking for. Also, I need the tools.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and Charles Smoot makes his way over to the water.
Wait, hold on, Mr. Smoot. Weren't you supposed to be going down with me?
Yeah, that's why I'm coming now.
All right, fine. Mr. Benavir.
Mr. Smoot, are you in any condition to go down there?
I look almost sturdier than you right now.
Slide aside, that's the issue. You're supposed to be broader shouldered.
I'm sure I'll be fine. We don't have time to rest. I'll rest when I'm dead.
Let me at least try to patch you up a little bit more.
Charles Smoot, you're going to heal by 7 hit points. Kelsey just walks over and smacks you on the back before she just goes under the water.
Can we can take care of this later. Can we just get what we came for and leave as quickly as possible?
Okay, so you are going to roll. It doesn't have to be in this area, so I'm going to say with time you guys are going to be searching. For every survival check, I'm going to say an hour is going to pass.
Sure.
So go ahead, roll a survival. Everyone can assist in this survival to increase the likelihood of you actually discovering a clam bed.
I will.
There is a 75% chance of finding a geyser shell pearl if you find a clam bed.
Charles Smoot with a whopping 12 total.
Hey, that's a successful. It's a 24, so that should do the +2 assist.
You gotta love it when the person with the higher skill rolls lower.
Okay, so I'm assuming Charles was doing the main and everyone else is
absolutely.
assisting.
He has a +10 in survival.
Vinavir, you actually do cut that hour into 30 minutes.
Right.
Where you immediately just say, no, there's nothing over here. This is land. There's water.
Well, you gotta be thorough.
So, yeah, roll another survival.
24 for Charles Smoot.
That is definitely enough to pass on its own. Go ahead. Who would like to roll the percentile dice to determine?
Jaden got it last time. I want this one.
It's a 75% chance.
Oh, 93.
Roll 1d4. You may roll together if you would like.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Four.
This is 7 then, right?
No. We have 6. Finn has 1.
That's fair.
Yeah, no. Finn hasn't told anybody about that one as
Not
far as I'm
yet.
aware. Exactly. So
What time of day is it?
It was late afternoon when you got into the fight.
It doesn't take that long. It takes like 5 minutes tops. If that.
Wow, 5 minutes. Is that how long 10 rounds is?
No.
Yeah, I felt like 50 rounds.
Felt like 50 rounds.
It was like 6 hours in game, out of game,
Right.
though. No, so it was a little bit later in the day, and then you had basically almost 3 hours, I would say, of exploring overall.
Sure.
So now we're looking around evening. So the sun has set, and you are all wet.
Do we want to keep going while there's still a little bit of daylight, or do we just want to call it
I mean, we have enough. Do we need more? I mean, money's nice.
travel
but-
expenses? I
Yeah.
don't really know what we're going to get into.
Well, especially if our crow isn't going to be useful.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we spend our crow here while we still can, but
We could.
We traded for goods.
Is there like a bank or something we could put it in?
Well, I was taught that some wines are better than currency.
You want us to buy wine?
Then we which sell at potentially a profit on the other end. Yes.
okay.
She just looks at you.
I'm very impressed. I don't really think about that kind of stuff. That's really cool.
Well, if we get some at the right age, then we'd be smaller travel size, but higher yield.
Kelsey's just like nodding along. She has a smile on her face. The longer that Finavir goes, the smile starts slowly just fading, and she just still is nodding.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yep. Right. Okay. Thank you, Finn. That was really informative.
Just one option. That's all.
I can go over more if you want.
Kind of good. I've been taught 60 disrotations on this stuff.
Honestly, with our group's tastes and expenses, perhaps going for another hour wouldn't be a bad idea. When is this supposed to be turned in again?
Wait, that's a good point. Wait, when do we have to be there? Didn't they say tomorrow?
I believe so. Not
Yeah.
100%, but I know
But-
we had to go to town earlier.
The end of tomorrow.
So we have plenty of time. Let's just take the rest of the day today to find some pearls and then rest in the secret base, and then we can go into town tomorrow morning before we have to leave.
All right. Well, let's make it quick.
If we're down here for too long, don't you think we'll encounter more otters? More Holts? More in the Otter's Holt?
Listen, I'm sure we'll be fine. It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Oh my! Natural 20 on Charles Smoot's survival.
And the jam is now rolling for the chance that this is being guarded by a horde of otters.
He may have found them with a natural 20. Whether or not he found a big shiny one and it is guarded is something completely different.
You lucky bastard.
Darn skippy I am.
I rolled a 2. So, you guys find a massive clam bed.
Let's go.
Again, you're going to roll for a 75% chance, but this time you will be rolling 2d4s.
Ooh. Wait, so it could just be a massive clam bed of nothing.
Exactly. There's always a chance.
It is a massive clam bed of nothing with an 11 total on the D100.
We got a bag full of shells, though.
Nice shells. Great shells. Love these shells.
We could sell the shells for like a penny.
If we were morally dubious, we could do a lottery where we just put one pearl in this and then sell the shells. As
Wait,
a chance.
That's a great idea.
No. I said if we were morally dubious.
I thought we were. We sort of are. I'm wet. I would love to shower. I would like to not smell like otter. Whatever that smell is. It's musky.
I don't think it's that bad, honestly. We could probably bottle it. Otter musk.
Want to sell otter musk?
Musk of otter.
I don't know. It's not that bad.
I mean, it's tropical.
It's manly.
Call it water.
What otter?
It's,
But seriously, if it bothers you, here, let's tidy that up.
Tidy it up. We're surrounded by stinky. Well, it's not that bad, but stinky, smelly otter piston water.
Yeah, well, I'm fine. I'll relent. We can go back to the base for tonight.
Thank you. That is all that I wanted.
Well, listen, we could have potentially have made the best payday of our lives in these past 2 hours. Who knows if we're ever going to get invited back here?
We
Oh,
also,
we also definitely are not.
yeah, I think we might have killed a sacred animal or something.
It almost killed me. I'm a sacred animal in my book.
All right, so you guys then begin making your way up back to the keep itself, passing by the gazebo, which is apparently now empty, though there does seem to have been a lantern that was left lit. And you make your way back. Once again, entering into a very empty keep. But you do see Scott Sterling sitting at his station with a frozen slab of meat over his face.
You! And Charles Smoot just points at him.
What? You gave us absolutely no warning whatsoever, and you are completely justified of your terror.
Have you not seen my face?
Well, I mean, listen, I just thought you, tripped and fell upstairs or something.
Did you not see the rock coming flying at my face?
Well, all you did was scream in terror like a little giddy schoolgirl and run back inside. You didn't explain anything.
What he means to say is, we now feel a fraction of your pain.
Why don't you transfer?
He lifts the frozen slab of meat off his face, peeking out from it.
Oh, yeah. You look terrible.
We feel terrible.
Look about as bad as me.
I was about to say I look slightly better than you, but...
No, you don't, Smoot.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that without these patches, you'd probably have something significant falling out of you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Transferring I've been trying to do for years. No results. Also, you.
He points at Charles Smoot.
Me?
Get your elk out of the sacred spring.
Oh, wait, okay, sure.
And Charles Smoot goes over there, and he just lays down in it too.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, I knew this felt good. Aye, buddy. Yeah, we're just gonna lounge here for a little while.
Meanwhile, Scott Sterling just puts the meat back down over his face.
If you want rooms, there's some available in the keep. Mostly open, though. So if you want walls, go to the town.
It's kind of nice around here.
Yeah, it's kind of peaceful without the otters.
Lodging's free.
Otters Holt, you know, the place without the otters.
It's too close to them.
How about we find somewhere, one of these rooms maybe, and privately talk for a little bit?
Charles is in Hot Springs. Someone's got to come grab.
They just, Kelsey just starts walking in towards the keep, Valen following after Finn.
Yeah. The Smoot can have his own relaxation.
Also in misadventures? Oh, that's dangerous. Later, guys.
All right. So, Finavir, Valen, and Kelsey all find what appears to be a large common room. For some reason in this base, it seems to be more about family and friends all sticking close together like a Holt.
Okay, so they have a nice common room. Cool.
I think it means that there are no private rooms.
But it's like open spaces and there's bunks, but there's some. It's basically like having a family hotel room.
Have you ever been or seen a Korean sauna where basically it's just one large open area and there are a bunch of bedrolls and mats that are laid out on the floor?
Yes.
Well, this is great news to me because this would never exist in a place like Baltimore. So that tells me something about the sense of community over here. So we probably maybe won't get robbed.
That's true.
So yeah, Finn will sit down and we want to discuss our options here. He will at this point reveal that he had also found one earlier.
Oh, that's awesome. So we do have some extra money.
So it's, well, let's think. There's you, me, Smoot, Valen, Cerulean.
I don't understand why.
That's just
The elk is here, yeah.
one expensive pet.
Very large now.
Now, it's my understanding that we plan on stopping by Taija if, by some miracle, we come upon a passenger or two. We may need to convince our captain to take them on.
A passenger? What are you talking about?
Well, it's not impossible that that's where they're holding Cece. And if where Cece is, Amalia is not too far behind. If they're willing to take us, Northerners, basically fugitives, down there, perhaps they'd be willing to store 2 more fugitives. That would leave us no extra room. Unless, Cerulean stays here, then we'd have 1. And as he says 1, he'll just kind of use what little magic he has left to press the digitation of the pearl up an inch.
If that's the case, then maybe we need to go back and get more?
I mean, this is the most lucrative gig we've ever had. I have expect to be arrested by the morning.
Right. Let's not do that. If that's the case, then perhaps we can't even sell these in market.
Oh, they're hot items. Also, they could make amazing bargaining tools.
Yeah. Okay, I see your point.
It might make the most sense, especially given that we'll be having to gain other currency.
You would technically have to visit a exchangery.
Yeah, that makes sense. It might be in our best interest to sell it while we're down there. Try to keep it to ourselves that we have any extra at all.
I have no problem with that. But, well, let me ask this again. Do we need to go back and kidnap Otter pearls? The jewels? We gotta steal the family jewels over here?
If we're permitted, it might be in our best interest to give it a shot.
Well, I mean, we did leave that area already, so we might have to talk with, Mr. Oddington. Right?
Yeah,
That
Mr.
sounds right.
Otters.
That sounds it.
Uddington. Oddfellow.
Fellow. Yep. I don't know. There was such a strange name. I couldn't remember it if I tried. Like, Lord Eden, very intimidating. This guy, I should probably lower my voice. Less intimidating. More weird.
I prefer him, honestly.
Yeah.
This should be our new main base. Just saying.
Maybe we can get a transfer. But if,
Well, then we'd have to do the whole initiation thing again. I don't think I'm up for that.
There's also the fact that this base may not exist for much longer.
Oh yeah, and perhaps the rest of them too, if nothing's done swiftly.
Right. This one is definitely in Raylan's territory, technically, and more than likely they're going to want to take it back. It's a valuable land. Main issue, though, being, well, the poaching of these critters over here.
Well, it sure would be a shame if they were poached to extinction.
all right, so, we should probably talk with Mr. Smoot and determine if we're gonna need to go back. But we don't really have too much time, because we don't want to be that injured before we get on a ship. We need to get restocked and make sure at least we have, healing potions, if not anything else.
Also, if he insists on going back out before he's patched up properly, then I'll be against the venture entirely.
And maybe we need to get some disguises for ourselves.
At least for one of us, minimum.
All right, fine. I'll cut my hair. He just gets up and starts walking away.
Oh no, that's so sad. Oh, I'm thinking if Finn had to cut his hair. No, not his luscious locks.
All right, so Charles Smoot, you're laying out there. I would like the group to regather, if possible.
Mhm.
What are you doing?
Does anyone come and get him?
Yeah, I guess Finn would, and his actual priority is patching Smoot up.
Has the water helped soothe any of Charles Smoot's wounds to any degree? What's a
Placebo.
Huh?
It's a placebo.
Charles Smoot will make casual chit chat yelling across the courtyard with Scott Starling.
So, what makes this pond so sacred anyways?
You just see as he picks up what looks like a magazine and just flips it out, opens it, and just begins turning pages, trying to ignore you.
Scott! Starling! Rockspace!
What do you want?
Well, I asked a question. This is fairly rude to ignore a guest. Aren't you the information desk?
I don't want to be.
Well, that doesn't mean you aren't. You still have a job to do.
It's the sacred spring that is in front of the gate. There. Answer your question?
No, I asked why is it sacred?
The spring and the gate together. The gate and the spring are connected. That's why it's sacred.
That's still very confusing. That doesn't explain much. Is there a better place to just put my elk? Do you have stables here?
Are your friends inside waiting for you?
I don't know. Are they? I was kind of taking a cat nap.
Right.
But also, information desk. Come on. I asked a question. Where, is there a stable?
Just leave your elk out.
In the spring?
You are going to be leaving tomorrow. I'd rather not deal with it.
Well, yeah, but, what if the elk needs to stay here?
I'm not taking care of your elk. If you can't take care of it, send it back.
Oh, yeah, but you want to just send it back through the portal and just have it pop up in the middle of the reliquary? That sounds like a terrible idea.
Right. Well, your problem, not mine.
He gets up, and you see as he puts out a sign that just says, "Closed for dinner."
Does he leave?
And he gets up and walks away. He locks the side door, though.
I can step over that with like minimal effort. Charles Smoot will just take care of Cerulean, make sure Cerulean's well fed, and leave him to roam about the courtyard as he makes his way inside.
Oh, Finavir comes out as you are making your way in.
Hey, Ben. I was just gonna go that way, and then you're coming that way.
Well, group is discussing whether or not we should go out to try to find some more pearls while we have the chance. But for now, you are getting patched up. You're coming with me.
Well, I'm just gonna sleep it off.
You are not going to sleep it off.
Why not?
Because those bandages were done in haste. We have the time, we'll do it right.
Okay, fine. Whatever you say, nurse.
Let's do some care.
Okay, care away. I don't roll anything.
I don't know if we even need to roll anything. With assurance, we can just have you patched up in a jiffy, and then you can take a really well cared for nap.
I was about to say, just by resting, I'm going to heal 18 HP anyways.
Finn doesn't believe you.
Charles, you are forcibly healed by Finavir, whether you wanted to or not.
Oh, God. Stop. Don't put your hands there.
You are turned into a mummy.
Arrgh. This aloe is very comforting, though the level of body restriction is mildly concerning.
And
It's intentional.
yeah, honestly, he's basically wrapped enough bandages around a pole to keep you in place so you can't just run off. But everyone else gets nice, beautiful rest, and you awaken the next day. So, Charles, you are recovered. Valen has cut his hair a good bit shorter.
All right, everybody. What supplies do we still need to purchase before we head out?
Well, I think if we don't have enough healing potions, we should probably find an alchemist with some balms or something.
Probably a very good idea.
And I could use to restock my medical supplies.
And you were talking about something about, like, turning our liquid assets into an investment in aged beverages?
Potentially. That is, if we can keep it as assets and make sure it's not used.
And not leave it behind.
And not leave it behind, yes.
Oh, wouldn't that be grand?
Maybe we should wait before we do that. We don't know what kind of space we're going to be given on the boat.
Well, let me take a look around the markets and see what our options are.
Should we scope out the boat we're going to be on? Like, we haven't met the captain. What if he's, like, a real piece of work?
And you don't want to use the boat? That's a possibility. I can just imagine Mr. Smoot getting into a fight with the captain.
Like, right, we need to make sure that, like, he's amicable enough. I don't know how well translated our intentions were to this individual. Like, we're just assuming he's gonna let an elk on his boat. Maybe we want to, like, talk with him about that a little more.
Well, I mean, Mr. Otterton... oh, that's right. It's Otsrick.
Sawa Otsrick.
Yeah. He said that it's if we have enough red pearls for each individual.
All right, well, Charles Smoot will be riding the Cerulean into town.
Of course.
Well, it stands to reason if they're looking to ship out tonight, they'll be restocking the boat today. So they should be out of the docks.
Well, I'll make my way and meet him. You all go purchase and do your merchanty things.
Unless we were told where he'd be porting, you're going to want to find Sawa first. And ask who it is that we'll be going with.
The docks, we're meeting a captain. I think we were told.
I think he told us too.
Yeah, we're looking for a Captain Clem Fetcham, and with a name like that, I can't imagine he's a difficult man to find.
Okay. So, you guys make your way down to the town and have to take the ferry to the docks. It is 5 hours away from Otter's Holt.
Bit of a trek.
Yep.
So, I mean, we get there and it's already midday.
Mm-hmm. So you guys make your way there, and you can see that this entire dock is just bustling with activity. You see that there are street vendors peddling their fish-related wares, utterly adorable ornaments, and gossip amongst the locals. You can just hear echoing throughout the streets. And amongst these various peddlers, you see some people who seem to be resellers of sorts, kind of shady looking, but they might be willing to buy your equipment that you've used.
Well, assuming he's done at least a perusal around and these guys look like the best bet. So yeah, he'll try to schmooze up these lucky diving tools.
That's true. We were very successful with it.
You can roll diplomacy. Good diplomacy can determine if your percentage even meets the standard.
I mean, not bad.
That's a 24.
It's pretty decent.
All right. They are willing to offer you 50% of your total value.
You know what? We should just take the win. We'll take the silver back.
All right. So you get 18 silver back, and they take it off your hands. Congratulations. So you said you were going to try and look around, correct?
Yeah, and we're looking for Clem Petrol.
All right. Go ahead and roll. You can either roll diplomacy because you're trying to gather information, or I'll even allow a society roll if you have it.
No, either of those are Jaden's department.
Are you with the group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smoot will roll a society. Because apparently he's trained in it.
Well, Smoot and Finn get an argument.
But Smoot is significantly more Charles today, and apparently is more in touch with this society.
All right. Give me what happens here based upon these. What are your rolls, first off?
Oh, yeah. Finn has a 12.
Charles Smoot is at 22.
All right. So give me a little bit of role play here of what happens.
Listen here, mountain man, you forest dweller, you freaking Neanderthal.
That's not very Charles.
It doesn't matter. Listen, you know, clearly you are out of your depth, and this water is too deep for you. I understand port towns, how they orchestrate.
I read 4 full books.
Oh,
on
congrats. Do you know what a harbor
docking
master
registration.
is? Well, good for you. Is that clearly helping you here? You need
If they
world
docked
experience
in the morning in this season,
Sure.
then they should be in the latter docks.
Okay, yeah, and do you know how few people actually care about regulation? The quickest way is to go to the harbor master, look at the manifest, and see which dock he is registered to.
God bless you, Smoot, when you make more sense. Stop. Can't believe I'm losing an argument to a brick wall.
That's a good argument right there. So Charles Smoot, you do guide Finavir in the right direction, making your way down towards the docks. You know, for some reason, like with every single pirate movie you've ever seen, like using Pirates of the Caribbean, we need what's a non-copyright name we could do for that?
Smugglers of Jamaica? I feel like that's worse. That doesn't have. That's like really bad connotations. I feel like
The Water Ruffians of South Detroit.
there you go.
Okay,
Smoot's favorite D-rate movie.
right. So it's actually off-brand Pirates of the Caribbean. Whatever you reference.
Scoundrels of Jamaica.
With things like Scoundrels of Jamaica, you know that for some reason captains really like to gather in pubs, taverns, and bars where the ladies and lasses will be. Valen comes back with a little bit more information on his own. Right, so apparently he's a captain of this thing. What is it? The Starlight Maiden.
Oh, that name sounds very familiar. With my old age and bad note keeping, I just absolutely forgot about that.
You also notice that Valen has come back with a very plain-looking hooded cloak that he is currently wearing.
All right, gents, to the brothel.
What?
Excuse me?
Where do you expect to find a pirate? A smuggler? A sea-savvy scoundrel?
Since when are we traveling with pirates?
Okay, who do you think is going to smuggle you in a wanted criminal into a country?
A smuggler. That makes a lot more sense.
Uh-huh. And what is another term for those individuals in such an industry? Pirate.
Racism.
What?
What?
Anyways, everyone knows that he'd be in a brothel. With a name like Clem Fetchum, I feel like he's got a lot to make up for, you know?
If Sid ever found out that I went to a brothel, I'd never hear the end of it.
As you guys are making your way towards a brothel, those words very particular, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
29 for Charles Smoot.
24.
As you are walking down towards the docks, you actually do know that there's a good number of taverns and a brothel right up near the docks, not but a few paces away. And amongst the various vessels that you see here, your eyes behold a portly ship with 2 masts, and painted across its stern are the words Starlight Maiden. And as you make your way towards the bow, you see that there's a figure affixed to her bow, depicting a woman grasping a glowing lantern in her right hand, her gaze filled with longing as her left hand outstretches towards the horizon. Or rather, the ship that's actually right in front of it. But you know, there's a point to be made here. Is that our ship? Maybe we don't have to go into a brothel at all. It's possibility.
Are you scared of
I'm
the
not
company?
scared of a brothel. I'm scared of the company behind me that's been glaring daggers into me.
Charles Smoot glances over at Kelsey.
You can see that she's shaming you all.
Kelsey, you got a problem?
No, not at all. Everything's fine.
I mean, our boat's right there. I don't know what you could be so, like, irritated about.
Oh, yes. Well, don't look to your right, gentlemen. Everything you need is to your left.
All right, we make our way over to the Starlight Maiden to see if there are any crew aboard.
You see that the gangplank is down currently.
Charles Smoot rides Cerulean up to the boat and looks to see if there's anyone affixed to it.
You see that there are several crew members who seem to be moving across the deck. In particular, you do see, though, that there seems to be a young man with dark hair and wearing glasses, also seeming to wear some sort of traditional outfit that reminds you of Japanese culture. He seems to be sitting on one of the rails, kind of like looking out over the dock. He looks down and sees you and just seems to be looking at you and watching you.
Charles Smoot turns back to the rest of his group.
Guys, I got this. I picked this up on the road.
Oh, no.
And Charles Smoot raises his right hand.
Ho, travelers!
He raises...
Was this
That was
you?
me. Who's calling me a hoe?
I'm trying to remember when this started.
This is Varia, the elves.
Oh, that's
Travelers.
Oh, I thought he was really going to smooth this up. Mr. Benavir, you should probably take over the talking from here.
Allow me to introduce ourselves.
You guys are at the base of this boat. If anybody has any knowledge about boats, you could try and determine its type.
All that boat knowledge.
Genealogy.
Well versed in boat.
Artistry.
But, you know, it's boatology. It's very simple.
It looks like a cargo ship of some sort.
Oh.
So it is relatively lean, like it's portly in that it is wide, but it looks like it is going to be a fast ship. If for the audience at home, it is a cargo flute.
It's a flute.
So, introductions.
He tilts his head at you and just raises an eyebrow as he kind of stands up, walking over.
We're Seekers. My name is Finavir. This is Smoot. That's Kelsey. And this is Valen.
Sorry to bother you. This is the Starlight Maiden. We had correspondence and were told to come here and that Clem Fetchum, we would have a discussion with him and we'd be able to take his boat on a voyage or be passengers on his boat.
You see as he kind of just nods momentarily, looks down for a little bit, seems to sigh. The captain is currently not available right now. However, if you would like, you may bring your things aboard and we can go and meet him.
All right, cool. I mean, our things are us, so you don't really have anything to...
What about that?
I'm sorry, I don't see that.
He gestures very pointedly towards the elk.
Oh, we forgot to mention, this is Cerulean.
Oh, he's such a good boy. It's not a that, it's a he.
Uh-huh. Do you have feed for it?
Yeah, I mean, you know... I was also trying to figure out like how long this boat ride is anticipated to be.
That's a discussion you can have with the captain.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, that's the thing is I have got like a week, maybe a week and a half of feed. I don't know if I need to go get more. Also, is food going to be provided for us? Is that part of our expense?
Oh,
Probably just best if you take care.
we might even be able to talk to the quartermaster. They usually handle all forms of rations and equipment and repairs. If you could point us in the direction of the captain, we would be happy to have this discussion with him. Be out of your hair. Hey, where am I, Mandus? And what was your name?
Lang.
Much obliged, Zhang. Where could we find the good captain?
You just see as he kind of shakes his head for a moment. I'm not sure you're going to want to see him in this state.
And why is that?
Well, let's just say the captain finds himself quite busy at the moment.
Okay. And?
At the brothel.
He kind of just nods his head towards you.
I knew it.
Dang it, Smoot. Stop being right. That's
Wait.
not your thing.
We can't just walk in on a guy. That'd be so weird.
What do you mean? I'm a 57-year-old biology teacher. I can walk in on anyone I want at any time. I've seen it all.
No, please don't.
What do you can stay here. Avert your eyes, Kelsey. In fact, you better stay here. I don't want you seeing anything.
Right, great idea. You stay right. How about you go up on the nice ship?
And you're going to leave her alone with smugglers and pirates and rapscallions?
She'll be fine. He just like looks around momentarily. She can take care of herself.
Finn wears an expression of shock and appallment at their complete lack of tact, Valen included.
Valen, are you saying you want to go to a brothel? I'm obligated to in order to get things done.
All right, it's been decided. Smoot, you'll be the Smoot, and Valen, you'll be the babysitter. Off with you.
Wait, what? Ah, God dang it.
Sure. Lang, which one? There's like 18 brothels in this place. Do we look for the cheapest one? I feel like he has low standards. It's just a hunch.
No, I will say, if you hear a lot of screaming, it's probably where he is. He just kind of turns around and just walks further back onto the ship.
You know, I think Smoot might find a friend.
The good kind or the bad kind?
And Smoot just begins walking away.
Finn cannot look at Smoot for the foreseeable future.
Okay, so, gentlemen, you make your way down this long path of brothels and taverns, and you do seem to happen upon one where there is a jovial amount of just like screaming.
So the good kind.
What does that mean to you?
What does it mean to you?
It sounds like somebody is having, either way I say this, sounds like somebody's having a really good time.
They're having a lot of fun in there.
Good for them.
It sounds like a very cheery and excited sort of yelling, as if someone is throwing a party. You hear music blasting, and it's some quite catchy tunes. You both walk into a brothel, or really, tavern. And that is where we're going to end off on this week's episode of the Gage Chronicles.
What a time to be alive. Such jovial screaming.
What a way to end the episode. And they both walked into a brothel.
Oh yeah, excited.
It's the beginning of the greatest joke we've ever told. Maybe.
Two seekers walked into a brothel.
Woo! All right. So, thank you, Foundlings, for listening to this week's episode of the Gage Chronicles. We are so grateful that you have stuck around and have continued listening to our podcast. Again, we are so grateful. And guess what? Like I said earlier in the episode, thank you so much to our good friend Alex, who left us a nice rating on Spotify. Because as soon as he did that, guess what? Our players got 1 relic slot increase.
Darn Skippy, we did.
And if we get to a certain point and it's too many, we'll do something else. Maybe some bonus rolls or some interesting effects that can be applied to enemies.
Euro points.
Hey, look at that. You, the audience, have control and the ability to manipulate the literal game mechanics of how we play. So
Yeah.
enjoy that power.
I
And
feel
leave
like-
us a rating and review.
It would definitely be a lot better if we were streaming, but we're not there yet. So, honestly, we sound terrible when we're live, so don't listen to us there. Please. But anyway, again, thank you so much. And we want to give a big thank you and shout out to Michael Gelfi with Michael Gelfi Studios, Monument Studios, and Yvonne Dutch for allowing us to use their music and ambiance in today's session. Thank you guys, and we will see you next week on another chapter of the Gage Chronicles.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.